Is President Donald Trump saying that hope is the only thing that we have left when it comes to the outbreak of Hanta virus? Let's get into it. Yesterday, May 7th, President Donald Trump said, and I quote, "I hope not," when news reporter asked him, should Americans be concerned that it's going to spread?
Yes, I have.
Can you tell us what you learned in these briefings?
Well, I think you're going to be told everything, and you already have. It's very much, we hope, under control. It was the ship, and I think we're going to make a full report about it tomorrow. We have a lot of people, a lot of great people are studying it. It should be fine. We hope.
Should Americans be concerned that it's going to spread? And how are you
I hope not. I hope not. We'll do.
Talks about the virus has now went viral, with tons of Americans being concerned that the spread has already begun. Let's get into some more reactions, thoughts, and opinions.
I'm at the airport right now about to board a flight, and my phone is blowing up about Hanta virus. So let me tell you what a travel advisor actually needs you to know. Here's what happened. A cruise ship called MV Hondias departed Argentina in April. Several passengers contracted Hanta virus, a rodent-borne virus. It is serious, and my heart goes out to those families. But here is what the headlines are not telling you. 1, hantavirus is not spread through the air between people the way COVID or the flu is. You cannot catch it from someone coughing next to you on a plane. A mask will not protect you from this virus in an airport or on a flight. That's not how it transmits. 2, you get hantavirus through contact with infected rodent droppings, urine, or saliva. This outbreak likely started before passengers boarded in South America, where a specific strain called Andes virus is found. 3, the WHO has confirmed no travel restrictions are needed. No flights are affected. No destinations are under advisory. Now, if you are a cruise traveler, here's what I need you to pay attention to. Check your travel insurance right now. Does your policy cover trip interruption due to disease breakout on your ship? Does it cover medical evacuation? Not all standard policies do, and this outbreak is a real-time example of why that matters. If you booked a cruise to South America or you're sailing through remote destinations, this is the conversation to have with your travel advisor before you board. Bottom line, if you are flying right now, you are fine. This is not a reason to cancel your trip. It is a reason to make sure you have the right travel insurance and the right travel advisor in your corner. I put together a free travel advisory guide that covers exactly how to read health and safety advisories and what to actually do with them. Comment Wander Safe and I'll send it to you. Travel smart,
It's trying to
not
ban
scared.
both of my pages. It won't let me share much information about the hantavirus situation. So let me give you an actual real update on this entire situation. So yes, it is true that they let them off the ship. The ship was going from Argentina to Spain. Spain said, let's dock it at Spain. And they got off the ship, and they all were sent home. They all put them on planes, and they were sent home after one guy came on social media and cried his eyes out, begging for attention, begging for help. I don't care for your crocodile tears. You wanted to go on a luxury cruise ship knowing the capabilities and the possibilities of what could happen. You unfortunately got sick and end up in a situation where majority of you guys are at risk. We do not want you here in this country, in any country. Unfortunately, you should stay at sea. But no, white supremacy won again, and they got a flight back. 2 people went to Georgia. Apparently, there's news stating that there's already one case in Atlanta. Another person is saying that there's another case in Texas or Florida. For what we know now is 2 people went to Georgia from that same cruise ship. One person went to California, and another person went to Arizona. So that means that the possibilities of those people, because they probably didn't test positive now, they might test positive later. This disease does not show symptoms at first. You literally can have no symptoms and have false positives, and then false negatives, and then it turns out positive. That's the first thing. The The second thing that I'm extremely worried about, this disease is not like no other. This isn't just like you get a sickness and your respiratory system shuts down. No, you get sepsis. Sepsis. Do you know what sepsis is? Sepsis is when your body rottens. Your body, if you get this virus, your body, you are not going to know that you have it until it's too late. And then when you have it and you realize the symptoms is sepsis, your body rottens. Your body literally turns black. Sepsis, search it up. Your body literally starts to break down and decay. This is a rodent disease. The world and Donald Trump did not remove America from the World Health Organization. The World Health Organization. Which means that if they try to decide to develop a vaccine, does that mean us as Americans do not have access to it because we are not a part of the World Health Organization? Is this the entire plan to wipe us the fuck out? Those are my questions, because nobody made a smart decision. Not from when this first was discovered. This whole shit does not make fucking sense.
So it's being reported that a Virginia traveler has returned home from the hantavirus infected cruise ship. According to the Virginia Department of Health, it doesn't appear that they have any symptoms. They seem to be in good health. Now, this is just one of several passengers that have returned home, and they're actually in different states, including Arizona, Georgia, and Texas. It seems like there's new information that's coming out about this on a daily basis. We have also learned that the incubation period can be from 7 to 30 days. So this is definitely something that will have several updates coming out in the next couple of days. I'll be sure to keep you all updated and include more information in the caption below as things are kind of learned. But as of now, it really seems like this is kind of a play it by ear, taking it one day at a time and seeing how things.
And it's not great. Singapore is now acknowledging that they have 2 people living in their country who were on this ship and are now sick and quarantined and being tested for the hantavirus because they are showing symptoms. So that makes 2 more. So as the World Health Organization has said, we are going to see more cases, and health officials from around the world, that includes the US, need to work together in order to help shut this down, because they are working very hard to do contact tracing for everyone who has been affected so far. But that means that everyone all over the world needs to cooperate, because as we know right now, there are several people spread out who have either been infected or have come into very close contact with people who have. And it can take up to 8 weeks to show symptoms. And I know this is so triggering for all of us who lived through this back in 2020. But this can be different. And just use a mask if you're out in public. I know if you're in the US, that might be a tall order, unfortunately. But if you really want to keep yourself safe and others, just wear a mask. I promise.
They're not telling you about this hantavirus situation and how it was not supposed to be able to spread from human to human, and that a new strain, the Andrea strain, is the new form of it being able to spread human to human, is that it has a 45-day incubation period, meaning that for 45 days it is dormant within the body. And since now it doesn't have to be spread through rodent dropping and inspiration, that it will be incubating for 45 days and it could be transferred from human to human now. That is why they are tracking down the woman who was on the flight with body and that got off the flight and collapsed, and because she was an incubator and a carrier on that flight, and they don't want to know it, but they need to find it. They're also not letting people realize it was 150 passengers on board. Of those 150, over the last 4 days, quarantine numbers are now at 14 people and 8 showing symptoms. That means that not only did this mutate after reaching one human from rodent dropping inspiration, right? Not only did after the first known carrier who they suspect got it from a rodent have it, but it was able to mutate within the body without incubation and jump to another human across multiple humans in just a little amount of time. Notice how they're not saying everyone came in contact with the same food or same infestation of rodents. they are confirming this is a person-to-person thing, meaning that not only did this strain mutate rapidly within the human body, but was able to jump to multiple human bodies. And they're about to let them off ship and put them in a military containment area where they're going to keep only 14 of them, even though there's a 45-day incubation period where someone could be a carrier.
Hi, if you don't know me, I'm Jessica Malati Rivera. I'm an infectious disease epidemiologist. I got my master's degree in emerging infectious diseases, and hantavirus is one of them. So here are 5 things that I want you to know about the ongoing hantavirus situation. Number 1, hantavirus really is rare. In 30 years in the US, we have seen less than 900 cases. And among those cases, they have involved very direct exposure to the primary source of infection, which is through rodent droppings, urine, and saliva. Number 2, hantavirus infection is serious, and the mortality rate is between 35 to 40%. Right now, we do not have a vaccine and we don't have a specific treatment protocol. What doctors and providers can do is provide supportive care for the symptoms that people experience. And the symptoms can be a bit nonspecific, meaning they can appear flu-like. So think fever, body aches, fatigue, coughing, shortness of breath. Number 3, the Andes virus, which is in the family of hantaviruses, has been known to rarely spread between person to person. That appears to be happening in this case. However, it has always required prolonged, very close contact. So think caregivers, medical professionals, household members, etc. Number 4, and probably most importantly, the risk to the general public is low. Right now, officials are working really hard to control the spread and coordinate what will likely be a long and complicated contact tracing effort, because the incubation period can be as long as 8 weeks, which really complicates the process of following up with patients as they disembark the boat, those who have, and all the contacts that they may have. I also want you to consider one thing too. There is not an active outbreak in Argentina, the place where the exposure likely happened. And the exposure likely happened in a remote area for a bird watching excursion. And so again, we're not dealing with an epicenter with an active outbreak that has then spread everywhere. We're talking about a potentially remote exposure among a person who probably brought it onto a ship, and then it spread from there. And number 5, the pandemic potential of hantavirus right now is also low. We're not dealing with a virus that prolifically spreads the way flu or coronavirus does. However, this is an emerging situation that we have to follow and monitor very closely. I'd be remiss if I didn't highlight the tragedy of the US pulling out of the WHO. Multilateral efforts and partnerships through the WHO for things like data sharing and coordinating contact tracing are essential in our global health security.